Okay, testing it out, testing. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is JenSandwiches, here to take another bite out of Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. In the last episode, I went to the store and went shopping, and then the Makarov stole all my shit and tied poor Woody up. So now we're gonna get our revenge. So, returning to the living room, you see Woody standing by the door, staring at the damage done to the front door. He runs a hand along the frame and knocks on the areas of wood and brick. "I can patch this up if you want," he says, turning to face you. The marks on his wrists have dulled to a lighter shade of red. "I hid my bag behind the couch before those two thieves came in, and I could use my tools to fix that up." "That might help. Let me think about our next steps," you say. Woody lifts his backpack from behind the couch and drops it onto the floor. "Where do these fellas live, anyways?" "Just down the road on the opposite side, right before the community gate." Woody nods, deep in thought. "So what are you going to do about these neighbors?" "I don't know either of 'em from Kenny Rogers, but we need a plan," Woody says, slapping his leg and raising his voice. "They took their liberties with your home, and though I'm not a man of violence, a response to their unlawfulness seems justified." "I completely agree." Peter and Sam are bad people. Revenge is totally the answer. Fuck them. I don't care. This is my game. I'll play it how I want to. I have justice, but I need time to make a plan. Oh shit. Okay. I think making a plan is good. "Fair enough," Woody says, pushing a hand through his mop of hair. "Heading over there all heated ain't the smartest route to take. We have time to prepare and strategize. My vote, if I get one, is to pay those two a visit and make them answer for their transgressions. But treading slow and steady is best in a long race, so I'm with ya." He walks toward the staircase leading upstairs. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a bowl to fill." You glance at the front of your home and the damage done. Not only did the Makarovs break in, they gave you more work to do, repairing the broken lock, reinforcing the wood, and ensuring no one else can invade your home. What's worse is the feeling of violation. It's day 3 of the apocalypse, and already your security has been put to the test. What next? As you walk to check your inventory once more, you hear Woody clomping down the staircase. A moment later, the front door swings open and shuts. You rush to the front of your house, look out the window, and spot Woody marching in the direction of the Makarov home. "Woody, no!" "Okay, I gotta go." "I've reconsidered and now agree that we need to confront the Makarovs." "Yeah, no, I'm going with them. We're doing this together or not at all." As you prepare to leave, you consider the weapons you're holding. Nah, guns. All guns. Only guns. Fuck them. Beretta. Actually, no, I'll choose the rifle first. And then the Beretta. Alright, coming for you guys. You leave your home, closing the door as best you can given the damage. The sunlight shines bright, allowing you to see all the way down to the Makarov home. Though you don't see any infected in the vicinity, you strain to hear them in the air. The noises mix and swell, and you can't tell if that subtle warble is from zombies or the normal background sounds of the suburbs. Along the main road, you creep along, hidden in the shadows. Most of the homes in your path are boarded or abandoned, and as you pass one with a "for rent" sign, the lights turn off. It takes little time to catch up to Woody, whose thick boots hammer along the tarmac, and he even whistles as he walks, leaning a rifle over his shoulder like a Civil War reenactor. "Woody!" you shout just loud enough for him to hear. He doesn't turn, but tilts his head to the side so you can... What? "Woody!" you shout just loud enough for him to hear. He doesn't turn, but tilts his head to the side so you can see the side of his face and bristly beard. "When I was on the crapper, I got to thinking about those two who tied me up and robbed your house. Here you are, providing me a place to stay, and I can't even protect it. My steam kept rising, and I can't let them get away with it. They made me fail in my duty, and now I have to make it right. Don't try to talk me out of it. Please." "I came to say that I agree now. We should deal with the Makarovs," you say, and step beside him. The two of you slide between two parked cars on the road, crashed front end to front end. Both cars are empty. The one car door is open and a deep red stain covers the driver's seat. A quick search of the cars reveals nothing of value. As you pass the crash, Woody adjusts the rifle on his shoulder. As you approach the Makarov house, the sound of a zombie echoes and fades. You check the area and see no movement, but the noise was made not too far away. Pressing in, you draw closer to the home and see no signs of anyone inside and no lights. Other than the thick blankets covering the windows, nothing seems to have changed. "How do you want to do this?" Woody asks, rubbing the sleeve of his shirt across the smudged barrel of his rifle. Let's see. Yell for them to come out. Let's check the perimeter. As you approach the Makarov house, you move to a row of tightly packed parked cars and crouch low. Here's the plan. We'll circle the house, staying out of sight, and check for other points of entry. Maybe one of the other windows isn't covered, and we can see inside. We can determine how to proceed once we have more information. Woody nods, his expression one of approval. Sounds perfect. You cross the road to the outer perimeter of the property and hop a waist-high fence at a low point where it's broken. Tall grass and weeds cover the overgrown lawn, and a mildew smell saturates the air. As you step, your feet kick trash, scraps of plastic, empty bags, candy wrappers. Approaching the side of your home, you avoid a pile of dry excrement and silently hope it's from an animal. Ew. More thick curtains sheathe the windows, and no angle allows you to see inside. Reaching the back of the home, you climb onto the back deck, its outer surface riddled with planks of moldy, rickety wood. Woody moves to a small window and wipes his shirt sleeve over it to clear a smear of dirt. I don't see anything in there. Table, chairs, fridge, kitchen appliances. No one as far as I can tell. As you creep along the deck to find another window for a view inside, you spot the back door ajar. Rushing over, you press your hands against the surface, and the door creeps inward to reveal a dark kitchen. No sounds come from inside the home. No stomping of hurried feet, no shouts, no firing of rifles. Silence. Moving in, you keep watch for movement as you scan the small, cramped area, which holds little more than a sink, refrigerator, and stove. The shelves are barren, and an open archway leads to an equally empty living room. Closets are open and bare, bookshelves barren, and no other personal items lie about. Everything you'd expect inside a home is missing. Either someone looted these looters or they skedaddled, Woody says, and rests his rifle over his shoulder. I wonder if they're living in the for rent house. Or like the one that was half built, maybe? After a thorough search of the property, you find nothing of value, not a crust of bread, an ounce of soap, nor a single scrap of paper. The beds are stripped to the mattresses, the drawers have been emptied of clothes, and the kitchen cupboards have been cleared. You do find a container of something green and moldy in the back of the refrigerator, which Woody insists upon smelling, only to dry heave a moment later. With nothing gained from the excursion, you leave the Makarov home. A heavy breeze flows outside, pushing leaves and flower petals across the lawn. The sounds of frogs and crickets and cicadas have replaced those of the infected, at least for now, and the smell of dogwood and azalea reminds you that it's springtime. As you walk, you spot a woman on the hood of a silver hybrid now parked directly outside the Makarovs. You recognize her as Kelly Klein, the reporter. You've seen her entertainment segment on the nightly news, when she visits hipster nightclubs or interviews a local indie band. She smiles as you draw near, and a wisp of her jet black hair blows in her face. "I'm Kelly Klein, Prime News at 5, she says to Woody. Her pale skin and darkly painted red lips give her an almost vampiric appearance, and she wears a tank top with the logo of the band The Centennial. Her arms are sleeved in tattoos, from cartoon figures to traditional Japanese. Her wrists are red and chafed, just like Woody's. Name's Woody. It's a real pleasure. Oh, Whoa, that was weird. Do you guys see that glitch? Name's Woody. It's a real pleasure, ma'am, he says, his back straight and chin up like he's at attention in military formation. Are you Native American? My mother's side is part Cherokee. Why? Kelly says in an annoyed tone. I'm a student of all things related to the culture of your mother's people. You should have glanced at Woody. Are we really discussing this now? Not the time or place, he says, then stares at the ground. What are you doing out here? You ask Kelly. The Makarovs broke into my house. And what? And a scowl? What? Probably, she said with a scowl. I was in my bedroom early this morning, and I heard some noise in the living room. I threw on some clothes, grabbed my gun, and spotted Sam Makarov digging into my refrigerator like he had an invitation. I aimed my pistol at him, and then his sleazeball son put a rifle to the back of my head. They tied me up and went through my house and took all kinds of things I need to survive. And the younger one, he kept staring at me in a strange way. I got the impression that if Sam wasn't there, Peter would have hurt me or something. She slams her hand on the hood of her car and sighs in frustration. They must have targeted me for accusing Peter of being infected. They robbed my house too, but I doubt it had anything to do with that mob outside their home. You're probably right, Kelly says. I was wrong about Peter being infected, but I knew something shady was up with that kid. And when I got out of the twine they used to tie me up, I came here to confront them. They're gone, house empty like moving day. I mean, mattresses were gone, sheets, picture frames. Only those blankets on the windows remain. Their truck is gone too. Pathetic. They robbed us and took off with all of their possessions, and ours as well. I don't know what I'm going to do now, Kelly says. She scratches her chafed wrist with long black fingernails. They took my food, gear I was collecting if I need to leave town, my money. And they didn't just break my lock on the front door, they stripped it off. All I could do to keep it closed was prop a speaker against it. Damn. She's hot. Wow. La la la. Do I want to help Kelly or no? Oh my god. She'll owe me. Well, life sucks. I do kind of want to try to help her. I mean, why not? The more the merrier, I guess. And Rachel did say that we should try to get a group together. So this might be a good way to do that. I don't... Okay, well... Yeah, I'll offer. Why not? Are you serious? She says, eyes going round and mouth turning to a smile. I don't know what to say, except thank you so much. I had planned to go visit my cousin's house in Monument, but I'll be back tonight. I can grab my clothes and what's left of my stuff and come over. Before you know it, she wraps her arms around you and plants a kiss on your cheek. Thank you. With that, you part ways with Kelly and start on the way home without a feeling of satisfaction nor a true end to this episode in a day in the life of surviving the apocalypse. Yeah, you got that right. As you walk, you pass a home on your right and spot a figure pressed against a window. Sunlight illuminates the outline of a man. The face of Tommy Monroe stares back at you, or he would if he had eyes. Instead, two black sockets take their place, sitting in a sea of yellowish, pocked and lacerated flesh. His blonde-tipped hair has streaks of wet crimson, and part of his right shoulder is missing, the edges shredded. His head is tilted up as if gazing at the sky, thinking whatever thoughts could cloud a zombie's brain. As you pass, his mouth opens and snaps shut like a piranha sensing food nearby. The door of his home lies open, and from it the pungent odor of refuse and decay lingers in the air. Staring inside, you see no one else, and the place is in shambles, furniture tossed and broken, walls marked with blood and other stains, and lying before the kitchen is the carcass of a small animal. Seeing Tommy in the open home, you... Mercy, kill Tommy. Kill Tommy starting to scavenge the home. Yeah. We need to go inside, you say, and climb the front steps to enter the home. What's going on? Woody asks as he follows you to the open doorway. I know him, you say. But as you move to the entrance, Woody taps your arm. You hesitate and glance over your shoulder as he mouths the words, "Be careful." Tommy stands by the window, face still pressed to the glass, and you can see now that both of his legs are broken with Tommy stands by the window, face still pressed to the glass, and you can see now that both of his legs are broken with shards of bone forking through the flesh, forcing him to remain in place. A low growl drifts from his mouth, not angry nor feral, but more a hum of discontent, like he knows he's trapped. His long fingers run along the pane, leaving faint traces of a pinkish substance, maybe blood and sweat. Much of the room is in discord, with a sectional couch pushed in one clump along the far wall and a big TV cracked and lying on top of the pile. A display case is tipped over, and from it have spilled dozens of porcelain figures of clowns and cats and angels. It's an interesting combination. The oriental rug has blotches where some fluid has dropped and dried over the hours, and now its putrid smell permeates. By the kitchen, the body of a small dog lies on the floor, its back snapped and fur peeled away over its head to reveal the remains of its brain, though most of the organ is missing. The dining room table is toppled with several legs cracked, and a large empty chest is turned on its side, the lock broken. Pictures framed and hanging on the walls show Tommy or his mother Janice, who you know from the neighborhood but seldom see. A spiritual woman with numerous phobias, she avoids going out in public or socializing. As you move closer to Tommy, his ears cock up, and he rotates his torso to the sound of your movement. His arms reach out, fingers curling to grasp, almost pleading, and you end his suffering swiftly and with as much dignity as the deed affords. You glance at Tommy and remember him from the last time you saw him. It's strange the way he's changed. The missing eyes, the pocked skin, the broken body. Is this really the same person? One by one, the Zeta virus claims another victim. A microscopic killer threatens to end the human race, and each person infected moves the world closer to the end. It's hard not to think about when facing depth in such a real and personal way. Let's spread out and search this place. I'll take the upstairs, you say, and start up the staircase. Did Woody even follow me inside? In the first room off the staircase, you see a well-made bed, several dressers with... In the first room off the staircase, you see a well-made bed, several dressers with the drawers pulled out and clothes lying on the floor, and closets flung open with more clothes on the floor. A small lockbox is open and lying on the floor, its contents spilled open. A social security card, driver's license, and baptismal certificate, all for Janice Monroe. Searching for supplies, you find a lighter and a clean blanket, and you add them to your inventory. From a rusty, broken transistor radio, you extract 3 electrical parts. You enter another bedroom, this one Tommy's, and it's torn apart even more, with the bed tossed, linens shredded, and dressers broken. Though the mirror on the wall is cracked, half of a photo hangs in the frame, of Tommy in a tuxedo standing outside the Chipper Ridge High School gymnasium under an arch reading 2007, Night 2. The tear cuts off the rest of the words. As you turn to leave, your foot kicks an unopened package of batteries, which you take. The bathroom is the last room, and a quick search reveals a full bottle of shampoo and a roll of toilet paper, but nothing else. Returning to the first floor, you see Tommy's body lying still upon the floor. A thin sheet covers the corpse, and already a few spots of blood have seeped through the material. Woody lays a similar sheet over the carcass of the dog. I check the living room. Someone went through this place with a fine-toothed comb. Basement, too. And a den. I'll check the kitchen, you say as you step over the dog's body. Trash litters the floor from an overturned garbage can, mostly old newspapers and store circulars. The cupboards are open and bare, and the refrigerator holds only a few jars of condiments and several containers of spoiled food. You take what's edible. The back screen door swings open in the breeze, and you notice 2 parallel red streaks a foot or so apart on the floor leading out of the kitchen to the yard. Pushing the door out, you follow the tracks out to the back deck. A solid wooden platform wraps around the back of the home, and the streaks continue until they reach the lawn. Looks like someone got dragged out, Woody says and scratches his beard. With the tracks ending and the home searched, there's little more to do here, so you circle back to the front of the house. Our work here is done. Let's go. You take the lead for the short distance back to your house, thankful to see the door intact with no signs of a break-in. Well, that was quite an adventure and did not go how I expected, although I should have seen that coming. Of course you can't get revenge on the Makarovs. Of course they're not fucking there. Alright, well, that actually ended perfectly because I am just out of time. So, I guess we'll have to pick something to do in the next episode. So, yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me, and we'll get back to it soon. Bye!